Hi everyone, my name is Clark, and I am going to be talking about one of the worst experiences I've had with my service dog, Apollo. Um, so this happened probably 3 weeks ago, something like that. So I had gone into a store, I'm not going to say the store, and I had gone in with the intention of making a return. So, and at this particular location, the returns area is at the very back. So I was walking towards the back with my service dog beside me on my right, because that's the side she normally feels on. And when we got about halfway back there, we passed what I thought was just a stroller, like with a baby in it. That was incorrect. It turned out that there was a small dog in the cart, or in the stroller. um, and it lost its mind the minute Apollo and I walked past. And I kind of just kept walking because we've had this happen before, and it's kind of normal, unfortunately. A lot of people bring service dogs or animals that they're claiming are service dogs into places where they don't belong. And this particular location was not pet friendly, so it had no reason being there. So I just kept walking. Apollo was like surprised, but didn't really care other than that. She just kept walking with me. Then I wanted to make a return, right? So I kept walking back to the return area. And when I get there, I go up to the person who's ready to help me, and I tell them what's happened and that they should have the dog removed from the store, because that's what they should do when there's an out-of-control animal, regardless of whether or not there's another service dog in the area that could be in danger. If there's an out-of-control animal, the business has every right to remove that animal from their premises. The person who I was talking with didn't even respond to that. They didn't even recognize that I had told them anything. They just proceeded to process the return. And while I understand that they were probably making $9 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is here, people ignoring stuff like that only makes it worse for people with service dogs. And I in no way fault her. I fault her in the fact that she did not pass me off to a supervisor, like the manager of the location, because they're usually more knowledgeable and more equipped to assist me with this type of problem. But other than that, like, I understand that most hourly workers are not taught service dog law, and it's just really frustrating when I get into a situation where my dog could have been injured if that dog wasn't in the stroller. Yes, it was in a contained environment in the stroller, so it couldn't get out and hurt my dog. But I've had dogs not contained by either a leash or a stroller come after me. And there are days where I am so afraid to bring my dog out with me that I just don't leave the house, because it's not worth putting her at risk. And that's not fair to me, and it's not fair to her. I trained her for a very long time to get her to be able to go into public with me. And there are people who bring their pets or ESAs or just animals that are not ready to be service dogs out in public, and it's scary and frustrating. And I hope that people who see this video will at least think before they bring an untrained pet or an ESA out in public. Just think about how it could affect people with service dogs. Whether or not you run into one of us while you're out, your presence, if it's a negative experience inside of a business, and you're claiming your dog to be a service animal, that reflects poorly on all service dog handlers. And that's why we have so many access issues with businesses. I have gone into places where literally I've been told the minute I walk through the door, I'm not allowed to be there. And there are very few places that I'm not allowed to bring my service dog. I will probably make a video about that at some point. But most of the places I go, she can come with me. And because they've had dogs in their establishments where they're barking, they have accidents, they are out of control, they're not listening to their owner, we are told that we're not allowed to have our dogs, and we rely on them. I used to not really ever leave my apartment because I was scared. I didn't trust enough people around me to keep me safe. And I can't have the same two people babysitting me in public 24/7. It's just not possible. So Apollo gives me the freedom to leave my apartment. And it's just really frustrating that there are days where I literally cannot, or too scared to now, because I'm afraid that some dog is going to hurt her.